What is up, everybody? It is Midwest Raider fans coming at you with another video for our channel. And oh my God, do we have an episode for you today? We're gonna get all kinds of opinions. We got all types of things happening today. We have all kinds of news. Not even gonna really do a recap totally on what happened because it's already old news. And we have another team coming up, but we really don't have to get into that because we're not gonna win it. So. This episode is going to be really just kind of the news and what's going on. We'll talk about what we got coming up and we'll talk about the past, but we also got so many things that are happening with offensive coordinators, Geno Smith, and just everything. And we've been posting it on our shorts, so keep up with that as well because we have a lot of information in there. Please like, subscribe, share. We're just trying to grow. We want to hit at least 500 subscribers on YouTube so we can go live with you guys and actually watch games with you and have some fun. That's all we can do is we want to have fun with the fans. We're fans ourselves, been so for a while now, and we want to have some fun. And why not have some fun watching the games with the fans and just talking about the games? And because the games aren't very interesting, that's for sure. So please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Midwest Raider fans, YouTube. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok. Uh, we're all around. So check us out there too. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. All right, we're gonna get right into this and just talk about the recap real quick. Here's the short recap. We played,
We lost.
we lost
Moving
against
on.
the Browns 24-10. It was a bad Shador Sanders. A lot of people have been talking about him. A lot of the media has been saying, "Oh, he's looking fantastic," but he actually didn't look so fantastic. He had really maybe I wouldn't even say a handful of good plays or passes. He had one big play that he threw a pretty deep pass. It got away from us, and it was a good play. I admit it. So I will say that he made one big play, which was good, which is a lot more plays than Geno Smith played, actually. So he played better than Geno Smith, that's for sure. So I'll put it that way. And so a lot of people say, "Oh, aren't you mad you didn't draft him and all that kind of stuff?" I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I really don't think it would be helping us right now too much, but we have to get into what's going on with the team right now. So a lot of controversy over that, but yeah, Geno having terrible season. Offensive line's having a terrible season. The Raiders are having a terrible season. The only bright spot in the game was the defense held for a little while, and then they broke because they can only hold for so long before they're going to break. So that's kind of pretty much the story of what happened in this game. Jimmy, real quick, your thoughts on real quick on the game, and then real quick on what you think of the whole Shador Sanders drama.
Yeah, no, I really don't have much to add there. Again, we talked about back to the basics. We didn't play basic football in any aspect. We lost the game. Again, Shadur's neither here nor there. We're not going to get. We should have drafted him. He played, let's face it, fans, he played a crappy Raiders team. I mean, and he didn't even look that great. His first passing touchdown came off a long screen pass. So it wasn't like he was just lighting it up and, ripping us apart out there. So I'm not jumping on that Shador bandwagon. Let's see how he does going forward once he starts playing, unfortunately, some competitive teams, which just is not us.
Yeah, that's well put. Well put. Very true. Um, I will say, no matter what quarterback it would have been, I would have loved to have some competition for Geno because as we see now, and let's just go into the whole Geno thing because this is going to be the biggest rant probably in the video is the whole we posted. We saw the post that was put out with Geno flipping off the fans after the Browns game. We posted it on our channel for sure because it really infuriated me. I'll see what Jimmy thinks really bad here in a second, but um, for he's the leader of the team. I mean, Derek Carr for so many years took, I think, a lot more criticism for years, um, and still was the flame for the team, the leader of the team, a true captain that can say, I'm going to take. Gino said to take the blame. That he could take it. That's why he gets paid the big bucks, right?
Yeah.
And sixty million dollars big bucks. And you are flipping off the fans and that is crazy. And so it's really infuriated me and I had to post it. I had to get all the opinions of the Raider Nations. I think he doesn't deserve to be playing anymore. Uh, I heard that that could be unbecoming of a NFL player, and all that. And they actually, if they pursued it, they could actually void his contract. Um, I don't know 100% if that could really happen, but we at least need something. I mean, I would love to save $60 million for the Raiders. Wouldn't that be good? Let's just get rid of them part. But I don't think we're going to get anything from this. From what I'm hearing, the Raiders did put out an apology. The actual team put out an apology, and I'm going to read it real quick. Uh, we are disappointed in his actions, and we have discussed the incident with Geno. We hold the Raider Nation. It should be we hold Raider Nation. It shouldn't be the Raider Nation. So I don't know who posted this, but in the highest regards, and take this matter seriously. Evidently, they don't because I want to see some action. I want to see a suspension. At least I want to see an actual him come to the podium and apologize to the Raider Nation if he's not suspended. Uh, but honestly, I wouldn't mind saving the team $60 million. So those are my opinions. That's what I hope. I think he's played poorly, and yes, there are excuses for him. There is the offensive line. Yes, they are terrible. I agree with that. He's had some, but the coaching was bad as well. We can blame it all together. Some people blame Geno. Some people think that we're getting to Chip Kelly here in a second, but I don't think Chip Kelly's schemes were NFL appropriate. I think they might have worked in college a little bit more, and they just weren't the right scheme for the team, and also did not the right scheme for the players that we have. And so we can blame all this together. We can blame Chip, we can blame Geno, and we can blame the offensive line. But Geno's play was terrible this game. Like he overthrew Tucker many times, and it was bad. And so that's going to be our inside joke with me and Jimmy is every time we do something bad, we're gonna be like, oh yeah, I think we
Yeah.
overthrew Tucker on that one. So, um, yeah, it's just bad. Sorry, I don't want to go too long on this rant, but I want to see Gino have some kind of consequence for this, at least a game suspension or something. Pete Carroll show us that he's not just your boy and that he can do whatever he wants. Um, that's not a good show for the team that Gino can get away with whatever the hell he wants. And if I was an employee of anybody and I flipped off a customer, I guarantee I would be paying for that in somehow, some form or some fashion, maybe even fired, right?
Probably lose your
So
job. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, very closely, yeah. So yeah, we need to see something. So I'm gonna send it to you, Jimmy. What do you think of that incident? What would you like to happen? And yeah, let's get into Geno Smith.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Don't really have much to add. I mean, you put that uniform on, you're representing the Raider Nation. That's the fans, that's the coaches, that's the players. Because him flipping off the fans, that's like a big F you to everybody, including his teammates. Because again, he is the face. The quarterback of any football team is going to be the face of that team. And he's a leader, a captain, and he should know better. I mean, I get wearing your heart on your sleeve. And I could give him the benefit of the doubt if it was like major heckling, somebody was, fans were unruly, but it was, we have none of that's come out other than, they were booing him, telling him he sucks. And you do suck. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to step up and face the consequences. Like, yeah, it's just not working. And again, I agree 100%. Obviously we've seen our horrible line and the coaching and the play calling. Yes, that all goes into factor, but you're the leader of this team. You're the leader of that offense. That the 10 other guys out there, the coaches, all the way, ball boys. I mean, you basically said "f you" to all of us, not just the
Yeah.
fans, but the whole organization. And I do agree. Yes, something should happen. He should be suspended. Yes, he should have to take the podium and apologize. And and I want a heartfelt apology, not just some crap like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that." Like, obviously, I was emotional. But again, he brought it on himself, right? Blame me. My car don't start because it's negative 20 degrees outside, here, and my car won't start. I blame Gino. By the way, I don't know if you saw it. I sent you that thing. Somebody got pulled over, posted. I didn't post this, but they posted it and had the flashing lights in the background. And it was like, "Thanks, Gino, for getting me pulled over on my way to work."
Yeah, that's nice. No, I have the video, so we'll put it on here for sure. And and he brought it on himself. He said, "Blame me for everything that happens. Blame me." Well, if you want the blame and you make those big bucks, then you need to be able to take all the criticism. You have to have thick skin and not flip out with something minor like that. You just need to run in the locker room. I
Yeah,
mean, you can't be flipping off fans, especially your own fans.
your
And
own fans. Yeah, it'd be
you're,
one thing
yeah,
if it was the other team, and
yeah, I get it. I
yeah,
get
but
it.
your own fans.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it happened in Seattle too, right? So where he flipped off
Yeah. Well,
some,
yeah, and I mean, even
wasn't that his
before,
own?
like,
Was that another team's fan or was that his fans?
I think that was his fans too after a bad
Yeah.
game. But then we
yeah,
we had that in the preseason. Remember, because he was coaching the, I don't know if it was his kid, but he was coaching that flag football.
oh
And
yeah,
remember that he went on his rant.
yeah,
That's why he
yeah,
paid the big bucks. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and again, I'm all for showing heart, but you got to take it with a grain of salt. And you brought it on yourself, and you performed horribly. Everybody sees it.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
can't.
and especially that game. Like that game, he really performed terrible. He overthrew Tucker at least 4 to 5 times. He had plays where they just went down to the ground. There's at least 3 plays in that game where they just fell down to the ground. It looked like they don't even practice. It looked like nobody knew what the play was. It was so terrible. And those are the biggest things that I get so upset about is that it didn't even look like they practiced the play. He just took the ball and fell down because someone ran something wrong. Was it him? Was it Ashton? Was it, the offensive line? What the hell happened? Where he's just falling down. Totally, we are the worst team in the NFL because I see no other teams just doing 3 plays like that. Uh, yeah, it was a bad game. And so, like, he really had a bad game. So, you can't take that when you have an absolutely horrible game. I don't know. It really makes me mad. I want to see Geno done, actually. I'd love to see AOC. Let's start seeing the other players on the team. Let's start assessing everybody. We'll get to that in a minute. All right. Next thing we'll just flow right into. Once again, guys, let us know what you think of this whole situation. Do you want Geno? Is Geno out in your opinions? In my opinion, for Raider Nation, he's never going to be able to recover from this. And yeah, not this year, and hopefully we don't keep him for next year. So next thing, let's go into Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly and his assistant coach Bob Bicknell. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Were both fired. That was his like right hand man. And so both those, he was assistant offensive coach. Chip Kelly's the offensive OC, and they were both relieved after this game. Quick, I'm gonna send it to you, Jimmy. Let you do some talking here, but I was ready for it. I figured he was going to be the next person. It just wasn't working. And there were so many people seeing it on the outside that it just wasn't working. So we're going to find out, and we'll talk about who the replacement is here in a second, but we're going to find out if that was some of the issues and some of the woes of the offense, but hopefully we find out with a different quarterback. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going to start by saying it's a good start. I
Mhm.
think there's a lot more people that need to be let go. I'm going to even throw Pete Carroll's name out there. He, like I said, it all falls on him. Chip Kelly, his play calling, it seemed like he wanted to do what he wanted to do and not play with the team that we had. Run plays, call plays that our guys are capable of doing. I mean, we saw it last week when we rolled the pocket. Geno on the move. Geno had a good arm throwing down the field. Then we get down there in the red zone. I think it was 3 times, 4 times we get down there, and then we just have them drop back in the pocket and get sacked. And then we're kicking long field goals. I mean, so yeah, just horrible play calling. I think like I said, I just don't think Chip Kelly's the NFL guru like everybody wants him to be. He probably should just stick back to college football.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I said, I don't think the schemes were schemed right for the players that we had. And I have other professional players saying this. I mean, I every once in a while I watch that Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco podcast, and even they were saying it just didn't look right. Also, they didn't think that we're using the players right. They're like, why is Tucker playing number one receiver? He should be playing like a slot receiver and cutting around the fields. Uh, he's not a true number one. He's our true number one, but he's not a true number one where he's the, typical 6'1", ball jumping up in the air kind of receiver. I mean, he has some ups and he can run as fast as heck, but yeah, he's not, I don't think we should be throwing those 50-50 balls. So
Yeah,
we need to use, and other players are saying this. So, and Chad Ochocinco is a receiver, so he should know, right? So is Shannon Sharp. He was a, tight end, receiver. So, they're saying we're not using players right. So, they have to have some credibility there. So yeah, we weren't using the players right. And I don't think the play calling was effective as well. So I don't know if you found this out, but Greg Olson is our OC. We did have him in 2014. We didn't have a fantastic year in 2014. Those were the Dennis Allen days. And 2014, we had a 3-13 record. Derek Carr, that was his rookie year, and he had 3,200 yards that year. We were 629 passing and 337 rushing, so it's not quite even. But 2018, he joined with John Gruden as well. So he was from 2018 to 2022. Greg Olson was there with John Gruden. So he's going to have some of those John Gruden plays. And don't think that he's not calling John Gruden and saying, "Hey, throw me some tips here. What do you think we should do to get better?" And I hope John Gruden just helps the shit out of him because I know a lot of people say it's crazy to have John Gruden as a head coach again. I don't probably want him as a head coach, but I would love him as a quarterback coach. We need a quarterback coach, or even if he filled in as an OC. But I know he would never go for that. But I would love it if he would.
See,
I
I'm
would
going to
be
disagree. I
I would
think we
I'll be
bring him
okay.
back head coach. I mean,
I,
he had us moving in the right direction.
I agree with
Fortunately,
I agree with that. But
but
yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
Raider,
Greg, he should be good. Like I said, so you're not going to know, like I said, we got the Chargers this week, divisional game. It's going to be interesting to see kind of what he does. He's obviously watched the game film, sees our talent that we have.
hmm
And so hopefully he can come up with something because, I mean, clearly he could potentially get the job. Like if he does
yeah.
a good job and we finish these last, 6 games up and he goes out there and, does something, I mean, that's going to say a lot. So, he has a lot of weight on his shoulders, though, because again, that front line is
Yeah.
key. But I mean, hopefully he'll roll the pocket out. But I think he's good, for the interim time, and we'll kind of see how he handles it going from there.
But yeah, I just used our losing years too. Like I said, I didn't want to use any of the good years because he was as we started getting better from 2018 to 22 with John Gruden, every year we continued to get better. And 7-9, we had 4,000 yards with him, 5,800 yards total. Um, 2022 and 23, we had 4,900 yard team yards, 5,100 yard team yards. Derek Carr was throwing for a lot of those. Derek Carr had 3,500 yards one year. Um, so Derek Carr had 4,000 yards, just him passing one year. And let me tell you what we had this year so far. Total yards, total team yards. How many do you think you have?
Uh, I mean, it's got to be low. I'm going to say what, 2,500,
Yeah, we have 2,900 yards
29.
total.
Yeah.
2,900 total. So that's 2,000 passing and 874 yards rushing. So that is crazy when, 5,100 yards. We're not even come close to that this year. So it's just disappointing how bad our offense is this year. And so I think, and then, I just went through a couple of years, but I think he went one year, 523 pass attempts, 437 rushing attempts. So he tries to play the game even. And so that's gonna help as well. But sometimes, like I said, since we're always behind, we'll probably be passing a little bit more, but he'll definitely be able to mix it in with the rush game now that we have somebody that hopefully uses the team like we should, uses the players like they should. He's got tons of years of experience. I want to say over 18, 20 years of experience with OC being the OC or quarterback coach or something like that. So tons of experience. I think it's a positive thing. We're not going to do any worse, in my opinion. And so I'm happy about this with Greg Olson. I guess we need to talk about is the whole tank thing. Kind of had my opinions on this before. I, it doesn't matter who's in there, honestly. We're gonna lose these next 6 games. So I don't think it's a whole tank issue. Like I don't think we're gonna purposely tank, but I think we're gonna not win some games here. So I'm not into the whole tank thing. I'm not gonna say tank fest to the best draft pick, but because I think we're the worst team anyways, so it's naturally gonna happen. But what do you think of the whole tank thing?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a fan of tanking. I mean, these players, these are professional people, out there doing their career, their jobs that, they were fortunately gifted enough to, be athletes. So no, I'm not for tanking. I mean, how many times have we seen the number one draft pick go and they're a flop? I mean, I
Yeah.
could throw some quarterback names out there, and nothing against those guys. Unfortunately, it just wasn't in their calling. I guess I'll put it that way. But yes, no, I'm not for tanking. Unfortunately, I agree with you. I think we need to assess what we have on the team. I mean, we haven't even talked about, the offensive line, our center. He gets injured and we move our guy over who's never hiked the ball. Why are we not bringing in the rookie Rogers? Why did he not go in this game? Pete Carroll came out and said that, we want the best team out there. Well, apparently that's our 11 starters. And if we have anything less than those 11 starters, we're done. And then we also didn't bring up, which I'm kind of recapping, regressing here, but he's like at the end of the first half when he's like, well, when Shador had that big scramble for that big pass play, and he's like, well, yeah, they had an explosive play, one explosive play, and we weren't prepared for it, and we weren't coming back from it. This was in Vegas. It wasn't like we were in Cleveland and they were going nuts. This is we were at home field and had nothing. So again, fire Pete Carroll. He needs to go. You did a good job. Started off with the offensive coordinator, his right hand man, but we need to continue this process. Bring in somebody interim now. It's just ridiculous. But back to tanking. No, I don't believe in tanking. Unfortunately, I don't think. Yeah, we don't. Like you said, we don't have to tank. We are just not good enough to compete this year.
Yeah, correct. And I was going to get into that too, that we had Forsythe, Dylan Parham, uh, Meredith, Alex Kappa, and DJ Glaze. And we still had backups Grant, Caleb Rogers, who thought he was going to come in the game. They even announcers said they thought he was coming in the game, but then they put uh, Putnam back in when Meredith got hurt. Even though they put him earlier in the game and then took him out because he's doing terrible, but they ended up throwing him back in. So, and they had Alex Kappa, all these players. So we're not even testing out who we have. We did have that Caleb Rogers, like I said, who was a high draft pick. So why not test him out? Why not see this Charles
Yeah, he
Grant as
came from
well?
Texas Tech. So
Yeah,
he's been in
yeah,
big situation games, big time
yeah,
teams, that he's played against. Give him a shot. Let's see what we got. I mean, clearly, big part of football is having depth. And if we
yeah,
don't ever play these guys and get them game time experience, we have no depth. We would rather put in somebody injured who's,
yeah,
again, I'm going to say it. We talked about this, 75%? That's probably high.
yeah,
75%, that's got to be better than a healthy guy. I understand he may not know all the play. I mean, at this point, he probably knows all the plays. He's a professional
yeah,
athlete. He's
yeah,
going over the playbook and knows what he needs to do. We need to see what he can do. Why are we paying him?
yeah,
Why are we paying him?
yeah.
If we're not going to play him, why are we paying him?
We need to see all the young players in there. From now on, we need to see everybody get in, including AOC or Pickett or anybody. So we will recap here just a little bit too. That uh, we had the ball 12 times and we only scored 10 points. We had the ball 12 times. We were 4 for 17 on third down. Had more time of possession. We had 36 minutes compared to their 23. We had 13 penalties for 109 yards. Just ridiculous. I mean, yeah, we, yeah. I don't even want to get into it. It was terrible. All right, let's go into the last thing that we need to talk about here. I wanted to bring up. So Pete Carroll had a presser, and he did talk about Max Crosby and Geno Smith being the leaders of the team. I don't think you should compare Max Crosby to Geno Smith at all now, especially with Geno Smith flipping off his own fans. But he said another presser person, asked if it how Pete Carroll felt about the booing, and then kind of joked about it and said, I've been booed louder at New England, and he was laughing about it. Wow, you're excited about how you got booed louder at New England. So I know he's trying to be funny, but this is a serious thing, and I don't feel like he has any answers for anything, and it's always so vague. So yeah, I'm not down
Yeah,
with
that
Pete
presser was
Carroll
horrible.
either.
Like you
Yeah.
said, vague. He did the questions, his answers just weren't there. He just gave generic answers. Oh, we got to be better. We got to do better. They
Hmm.
talk about next man up mentality, but we don't see it because you bring in the hurt guy. I mean,
Hmm.
again, we need to play these younger players, see what we got, so we know what we need to do or who we need to get help with for next season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're already talking about next season, and we've been talking
Mhm.
about next season for a while now.
All right, guys, that's a lot of information. Thank you guys so much for listening and everything. I think one more thing we want to talk about is a quick preview. Who's next? We have the San Diego Chargers. Is that correct?
Yep, that's
Uh,
correct.
and
In LA, so we got home field advantage again.
so that's true. but we're not going to win this game. I'm not even going to predict it because I'm going to say we're going to lose, and no reason to predict it. I hope we play competitive. I hope we figure something out with this Greg Olson offense now, and I hope it's a little bit more even. Hopefully, he knows how to use the players better. But I still don't have confidence in like Pete Carroll's sons who are running the offensive line and all these other things that are happening that also they should be have should be removed for making bad choices, bad personnel decisions, and whatever information they're giving Pete Carroll. I know we're really lacking in backup, like next man up, because we only really have three other players on the offensive line that can come in and play, but we should start using them all. So it is what it is. San Diego's coming in, but I'm not too confident about another win this year. So if we see some stuff different, we'll start talking about it. But other than that, Jimmy, what do you think of that? Real quick, I think we're going to be running out of time here real soon.
Yep, nope, I agree. Like you said, there's no need to go in. They got Justin Herbert probably going to pass all over us, unfortunately. There's not a whole lot to say. They're a playoff team. Obviously, they're sitting looking good. This is just going to be another notch to, help them keep their momentum going into the playoffs. And like you said, not a whole lot to talk about. We're just not good this year at all in any aspect.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been Midwest Raider fans on YouTube. So please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Jimmy.
Yeah, like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment. We had lots to talk about, maybe some information you didn't know. And, just let us know what you think. Well, if you agree with us, you disagree, we'll hash it out. Love to talk Raider football.
All right. And as always,
Go
go
Raiders.
Raiders.